This is a beautiful world, isn't it? There's an even more beautiful story behind it, told in the book of Genesis. Before anything was ever created, there was a being called God. He was never created himself, he was just there in the void, for all eternity. Alone. By himself. But he's infinitely powerful and knows everything, so he can create whatever he wants to, and so he did. He created a lot of amazing things. He actually created everything. Galaxies, planets, the ocean, the sky, continents, plants, animals, and finally, people! Say hi to the first person he ever created. His name is Adam, which just means man, and his job is to rule the planet Earth from the Garden of Eden. He also took a little siesta after creating people where he didn't do any work at all. And you should do this too about once a week. Eden is a nice place with lots of clean rivers and trees full of food, and at the center of the garden is the Tree of Life, which has fruits that can make you immortal. There's also the Tree of the Knowledge of Good and Evil. This one's fruits are not okay to eat, because if you even touch it, you're dead. Okay, this job is kind of fun, but it's kind of lonely here. Am I really just stuck here with all these animals? How about you go to sleep, Adam? While Adam was sleeping, God took some flesh and bones from him and made him a mess. Whoa! It's another human! It's kinda like me, but also kinda not. She's my own flesh and bone, but I guess she's not really a man, so we'll call her a woman? So the two were happily married. Also, minor detail, they went around the garden completely butt naked. But they didn't see anything wrong with that, so they just don't really care. Hi, Eve. Hi, Mr. Weird Dragon Angel thing. You know the forbidden tree? The one that'll kill you if you eat its fruit? Yeah, about that. It doesn't actually kill you. That's just a lie, and God's afraid that you'll turn into another god. Okay. Hey Adam, apparently the forbidden fruit doesn't actually kill you, and it'll turn us into gods. Huh. Let's go ahead and eat it then. Adam? Why are you naked? Crap. Couple things about that serpent. His name is Satan, and he actually used to be an angel. He's not as smart as God, or as powerful, and definitely not as good. But he thinks he's all that in a bag of chips, and it ends up with him absolutely despising God until the very end. So he brings nothing but lies and destruction everywhere he goes. Hey, where are those humans I created earlier? Ah, there you are. What's with the leaves? Oh, we just realized that we've been going around completely naked this whole time, and, wanted to cover up a bit. Wait, how the heck did you know that you were naked? Okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but I ate that fruit you said we weren't supposed to. So a lot of people are about to get punished severely for this whole incident. Satan's punishment is that he has to crawl around on his belly for the rest of his life, and eventually he's gonna get killed by a descendant of Eve. Punishment for women is that whenever she gives birth to children, it's more painful than stepping on a Lego brick. The punishment for men is that his job is also gonna be every bit as painful. And to top it all off, everybody is gonna cark it at some point. Also, Adam and Eve are now banned from ever entering Eden again. Nice work, guys! So Adam and Eve settle down and have kids. They have two kids. Cain, who is a gardener, and Abel, who is a shepherd guy. And they both make offerings to God. Here's my offering to you, God. It's some veggies and stuff that I just kind of picked up off the ground. Ah, veggies! They're just so cheap. Why would you offer anyone that? Here's my offering to you, the firstborn of my flock. I raised this meat myself, and it was pretty expensive. And I saved the best cuts just for you. This offering is awesome. Thanks a whole bunch, Abel. So obviously, Cain's got a little bit of envy towards Abel in this. And he's got two options at this point. Option 1 is to make a better offering to God and deal with his envy in a healthy way. Option 2 is the one he actually chooses, which is this. Hey Abel, how's the slaughtering going? It's going pretty well for me. Yup, it's going pretty well for me too. Wait, what? Cain? Where is your brother? I don't know. Am I his babysitter or something? You whacked him, didn't you? So now Cain has to wander the earth as a fugitive, and to top it off, nobody's allowed to whack him either, so he has to live through the entire punishment. Turns out, the problem of sin didn't just stop with Adam, got passed down from generation to generation, with each generation being worse than the last. And now the world is full of nasty sins, including murder, theft, and not being subscribed. But eventually, things get better with a guy named Noah, whose name just means rest in Hebrew, because he's supposed to give us a break from the evils of humanity. But how's Noah supposed to do that in a wicked world where people are making these weird, evil, giant, demon, hybrid, mutant things that destroy everything in their sight? Easy. We just wipe out everything on the entire planet, and we save just Noah and his family, who are good enough to repopulate the Earth. Hey Noah, I have a job for you. Okay, cool. What's the job? Your job is to build a massive wooden boat. Okay, then what? Then, I send a giant flood that wipes out everything on planet Earth. So your job is to collect 2 of every kind of creature, a boy and a girl of each, so we can still have life after the flood. Okay. So Noah builds the ark, and he piles on with his wife, his 3 sons, their wives, and all the animals. They also take some seeds so they can replant everything afterwards. And it starts to rain for 40 days straight. And sure enough, everything except for Noah and his animals was promptly wiped out. Bro, how long has this flood been going on? I want to land. Hey, go see if there's any land out there. Yum. Carrion. I'm just gonna fly around until everything dries up. Stupid raven. Maybe this dove might be more useful. Dang it! Still no dry land out there. Let's wait a week and try again. Hey guys, the flood's almost done. Okay, I'm gonna send you out one more time, just for good measure. Well, the dove didn't come back. I guess that means we're good to land now. So now that the world has been mostly cleansed of evil, God now promises never to cause any more mass extinctions. People are still gonna mess things up, but we can at least be assured that life still goes on. He's also left us rainbows that appear after it rains, so we can still remember this promise forever. Also, fun fact, this story appears in basically every culture's mythology in some form, even in cultures like the Navajo that are nowhere even close to where the Bible was written. So there may have actually been a worldwide flood, or at least a regional one that only Noah and his gang survived. Noah decides to build a vineyard, get completely hammered, and zonks out on the floor. Ham here has spotted him. Shem and Japheth decide to lay a blanket over him. So now Ham is cursed because he saw something he shouldn't have, but Shem and Japheth are okay. Japheth's descendants build a few coastal nations, one of which is actually kinda relevant at some point. Ham's descendants built some even more relevant nations that people do care about, like Egypt, Phoenicia, and Babylon. And one of Shem's descendants builds an even more relevant nation that we'll get to in a second. But first, I gotta tell this story right here. I've given you all this land for you to expand into. Shouldn't you maybe expand? No. I'm going to build a massive tower up to heaven. Oh, not if I do this first. Hey, we need more bricks here. ¿Qué? No te entiendo. Was ist passiert? Jeder hier spricht verschiedene Sprache und ich kann niemand verstehen. Forget it. We're never gonna finish this stupid tower. And now, you all have to spread out. Remember that really important descendant of Shem I was talking about earlier? Turns out his name is Abram, which means father in Hebrew. Which is ironic because he doesn't have any kids, his wife is infertile. But he's raising his nephew Lot instead, whose dad passed away when Lot was young. But now that Lot's old enough to live on his own, he moves to a city called Sodom, not knowing how absolutely wicked everyone there is. But then Sodom gets involved in a massive war in which they get absolutely curb-stomped, so Abram has to save it, and for this he's blessed by a priest named Melchizedek, who may or may not be Jesus Christ before the incarnation. Shortly thereafter, God appears to Abram in a dream. Ah! Don't be afraid. I'm here to make a promise to you. Oh, cool. What's the promise? Abram, you're going to be a daddy. Wow! I thought this would never happen. You'd better believe it. Can you count up all the stars in the sky? No. That's how many descendants you're going to have. Oh boy, I cannot wait. Yep, you are a righteous man just for believing in me. So, how does this work? I just make Sarai's servant my side chick, right? Oh, this is our son, Ishmael. Oh, Goofy, with your actual wife. Also, a couple more things. Number 1, your name is now Abraham, which means father of many. And number 2, just to remind you of the promise, you and all your descendants will have to, heal your carrots from now on. Great! Your son will be born next year. And this is the start of that even more relevant nation I was talking about earlier. But we're not there yet. We've still got a ways to go. So Abraham explains everything that's happened to his wife. What? What's so funny?
Oh, I don't know, it's just, we're both super old. None of this makes any sense to me.
What's so funny? What's so funny? Nothing is ever impossible for me.
I wasn't laughing?
Yes, you were. Hey, how's Lot doing in that new city? Let me take a look. He's in Sodom right now, right? Oh, gross! What an evil city! I'm gonna destroy that place! Hey, wait a minute! What if there's like 50 people there who are kind of okay-ish? Shouldn't you spare the city if there's just 50 decent people there? If you can find me 50 decent people, I'll spare them. Wait, what if there's just 45? Sure, I'll spare the place if it's just 45. What if there's just 40 good people? Sure. 30? Okay. 20? Yeah. 10? There's only 10 good people there. I won't destroy the place. Lot, pack your things and be ready to hop town this morning. We're about to destroy this place. Wait, what? What's going on? Hey, Lot, where are those boys we had with you? Bring them out! We wanna...
I guess a quick little peek won't hurt.
Abraham has to make peace with this king named Abimelech, so he seals the deal by building a well for him. Good news! Isaac has been born. His name means laughter because of how hard Sarah laughed at the notion of having kids at 99. Unfortunately, this means Hagar and Ishmael get kicked out of the house, but God will still protect them while they're out in the desert. One last thing for you, Abraham. Okay? You are going to sacrifice Isaac to me. Isaac, come with me. We're going to make a sacrifice. Okay, which lamb are we sacrificing? God will provide us the lamb. So, where's that ram we were gonna sacrifice? Dude, I am so sorry about this. Abraham, don't hurt him! Here's a ram for you to sacrifice instead. Oh, thank God. You're welcome, Abe. By the way, does this mountain have a name yet? I think I'm gonna call it The Lord Will Provide. Shortly thereafter, Sarah passed away and was buried in a tomb. And now it's time for Isaac to find a wife. Okay, Eliezer, I need you to find a wife for my son Isaac. Try to find one who smells nice, isn't crazy, and is willing to move here. Here's a whole bunch of camels and gold and stuff. Happy hunting. Okay, smells nice, isn't crazy, willing to move in with Abe and Isaac. You know what? What if she lets me and my camels have a sip of water? That's something a nice girl would do, right? Dear Lord, let me find that girl who will give me and my camels some water, and let Isaac get to marry her. Hey, excuse me, my name is Eliezer. Can I have some of that water?
Sure. Are your camels thirsty too? Let me give them some as well. My name's Rebecca, by the way.
I think she's the one. Hey, here's some gold jewelry. How about you introduce me to your dad?
Sure.
So, what brings you to our house? I work for a rich guy named Abraham, and he told me to find a wife for his son Isaac. He gave me a heck ton of camels and gold and stuff, and sent me to this town. I also prayed to find a girl who isn't crazy and will give some water to me and my camels if I just asked. And lo and behold, that's how I met Rebecca. So, does Isaac get to marry her or not? Let me think about this one. Hey Isaac, I found you a wife! Let's give a hand to our friend Eliezer. So now that Abraham and Sarah are gone, it's time for Isaac to have kids. Twins! The older one is named Esau, because he was apparently a very hairy baby, and the younger one is named Jacob because he was born holding Esau by the heel, which apparently is a Hebrew euphemism for scamming someone. Because Esau is technically older, He's about to inherit way more land and stuff than Jacob, even though they're literally twins. But then, this happens. Bro, I'm so hungry and tired. Can I have some of that soup you're cooking? Trade you for all that extra land and stuff you're gonna inherit. Sure, whatever. I'm about to die anyway. Just give me the soup. Remember, all that extra land and stuff belongs to me. And now you know why Jacob's name basically means scammer in Hebrew. Now it's Isaac's turn to make peace with Abimelech, again by digging another well. Isaac is on his way out, and now it's time for Jacob to scam Esau again. Esau, before I go, can you bring me something to eat? Sure. Just so he thinks I'm Esau, you know? Esau, is it you? Yes, this is definitely Esau. I brought you some food to eat that I definitely hunted. You're Jacob, aren't you? Wait, no, your hands are really hairy. You're definitely Esau. The Lord has blessed you to be successful and to be the king over absolutely everything. Aw, thanks, Dad. Hey, Dad, I'm back, and I brought some food. Thanks, but I already ate. What? Yep, and I already gave my blessing to Jacob, because he's the one who brought me food. But surely you can at least give a blessing to me too, right? No, haha. Esau is understandably mad at Jacob, as he did after all scam Esau twice, and now Jacob has to flee into the desert. He stops in the wilds to sleep, and then he has this dream. I am the God of Abraham and Isaac, and I have blessed you. Your offspring will spread across the land and prosper wherever they go. Did I just walk into the house of God? Let's build an altar here. So Jacob wanders a bit more until he finds the town of Paddan Aram, and instantly falls in love with a girl there named Rachel. So he goes to meet her dad, this guy named Laban. Also, Rachel has a sister named Leah, who is honestly kind of mid. So, you want to marry my daughter, don't you? You bet I do. You seem like the right kind of guy for her. How about this? You work here on my farm for 7 years, and she's yours. You're on, dude.
Seven years later.
You may now kiss the bride. Oh boy, I sure can't wait to be married to Rachel. Leah? There must be some mistake. I was supposed to marry Rachel, you shyster. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, it's our tradition here. Older children get married before younger ones. That's just our rules. You can have Rachel if you're willing to work for me for 7 more years, though. You piece of... Fine, 7 more years.
7 years later.
So now Jacob is married to both Leah and Rachel. They also each had these 2 servants named Zilpah and Bilhah, respectively. So Jacob married them as well. And now they're having kids.
Look, a son! God has heard my plea. Now he'll be attached to me. Praise the Lord! Hold on, I want kids too. Bilhah, you're up next. God has judged me well. I've wrestled with Leah and won. Your turn, Zilpah. I have good fortune. I'm so happy.
So now you'd think it's Rachel's turn to have babies, right? Not exactly. Reuben here found some weird psychedelic roots that are shaped like people, and Leah traded them to Rachel for a chance to have even more kids.
I got my wages. Now you have to honor me.
She also had a daughter named Dinah, but my study Bible doesn't tell me the significance behind that name. Comment down below if you know. Okay, now it's Rachel's turn to have kids.
Yes! I hope God will add another one.
Now Jacob is ready to head home. Because Jacob was such a good shepherd, Laban has agreed to give him all of his black and spotted sheep. But Jacob did something so sneaky that I had to read like 4 different translations of his verse to figure out what the heck he did. Basically, he bred all the strongest sheep in the flock with all the sheep that would be his, and all the weakest sheep with all the sheep that would be Laban's. So Jacob gets the strongest sheep, and Laban gets the weak ones. Jacob is at it again with the scams. Now Jacob has to go escape. He disappeared without saying goodbye, and also Rachel stole all of Laban's idols. Laban eventually catches up to Jacob and is mostly just mad that Jacob ghosted him. But God told Laban not to hurt Jacob, so they agree to make up and forgive each other. But Laban never found the idols that Rachel stole. Guess who's still out there? Esau. Guess who's also hopping mad at Jacob? Also Esau. So Jacob prepares some of his flock for him so that eventually they might be able to make a peace. And that same night, he sees the angel of the Lord, who may also be Jesus before the incarnation, and starts wrestling him. And wins, even though the angel dislocated his hip. Let me go! Bless me first. Your name is now Israel, because you wrestled with God and won. What's your name? Esau is back. He's not angry with Jacob anymore. I guess sending him that present really paid off. Chapter 34 is that perfect mix of weird, not family-friendly, and kinda irrelevant, so we're gonna skip it because this channel is for good boys and girls of all ages. Now Israel is fully ready to stop worshipping idols and start worshipping God again, and God blesses him with a nation in return. And this is the super relevant nation I was talking about earlier. And also, he gets another son with Rachel named Benjamin, which means son of a right hand. Esau made a nation too, called Edom, and it's also kind of a rival to Israel. Joseph is Israel's favorite son, and boy is the favoritism real. Israel has dressed Joseph with way more drip than his other sons, and now he's getting a little bit too big for his britches. Hey guys, I had this dream that we were all harvesting wheat, and I got the biggest bundle of wheat, and all your wheat bundles bowed down to mine. We gotta get rid of this guy. They're planning to unalive him, but Reuben wants to play kinda nice. How about we sell him to the Egyptians and pretend a wild animal got him? Sure, that works too. So they dip his coat in goat blood, and pawn him off to an Egyptian general named Potiphar. Chapter 38 is also weird, not family-friendly, and irrelevant. We're skipping this one too. Joseph is actually pretty good at his new job down in Egypt, but Potiphar's wife gets him falsely accused of a certain crime. We don't need to go into the details of it, so now Joseph is in jail. But apparently, while Joseph was in jail, we learned that he could interpret dreams. I had this weird dream where there was this grapevine with 3 branches, and I used some of it to make wine for Pharaoh, and he drank it. This one means that in 3 days, Pharaoh will give you your job back. Yay! I had one where I baked 3 cakes for Pharaoh, but he fed them to the birds instead. Dude, I am so sorry about this. It means in 3 days, you're cooked. Aww. Dude, I wonder if Joseph can interpret my dreams. Bring him over. I had this dream where there were these 7 fat cows, and then these 7 ugly cows came on over and ate them. This one means we'll have a good harvest for about 7 years, then we'll have a 7-year famine. Oh no! That means we need to start storing up food for it.
7 years later.
Breaking news! There is a famine in Egypt. Let's go to Pharaoh for more info. Yeah, don't worry guys, we've got enough food stored up here for 7 years. We're not gonna starve.
Pharaoh, how did you see this coming?
I hired this guy named Joseph who's really good at interpreting dreams, and he told me about it before it happened.
Sounds like this Joseph character really saved the day.
Yes he did. Hey Dad, I heard about Joseph in the news. Apparently he's saved Egypt from a massive famine. Wait, he's still alive? Cool, go down there and buy us some grain. We're not trying to starve here. Hey Joseph, remember us? Nope, not at all. You're a spy, aren't you? What? No! It's us, your brothers! Reuben and Simeon and the gang. Prove it. Leave him with me, and bring back Benjamin. Guys, where's all the grain you were supposed to buy? And also, where's Simeon? We ran into Joseph down there, but he thought we were spies. He told us to leave Simeon behind and bring back Benjamin, and prove that we're not sus. Well, go back there! Take all this delicious food, and Benjamin too, and go back to Egypt. Joseph still doesn't trust his brothers, so he does a little test. He hides some money in their grain bag so it looks like they stole it, just to see what they do. When they try to find out who done it and return the coins, that's how Joseph knows he can trust them. So Joseph forgives his brothers, and gives them a whole bunch of delicious food in return. Then he tells them they're all welcome to come down and join him in Egypt, where he's a super rich celebrity. So Joseph and his brothers live happily ever after in Egypt, and he stops another famine. this time by buying all the land and putting all the people to work, making tons of food. Joseph now has two sons named Ephraim and Manasseh, whom he blesses as well, and now we have the 12 tribes of Israel, descended from Israel's 12 sons. Israel gives one final blessing to all his sons, so that they can finally live in peace with one another, and then he dies. A lot of evil stuff happened in this book, like humanity siding with Satan and falling into sin, or the evil world after the fall of humanity, or Joseph's brothers betraying him and selling him to Egypt. But every single time, God was always able to turn them around to make something better come out of it, such as by saving the best of humanity and destroying the rest, or by making peace and prosperity between Joseph and his brothers, where there had once been nothing but betrayal. He'll even redeem humanity's fallen state right now through his son Jesus Christ. Want to learn more about that? Then go watch this video right here. Seriously, go do it. Alright, have a blessed day.